When it comes to attraction, sometimes the loudest conversation isn't happening with words at all. It's happening in the silent, almost invisible signals that pass between two people. Her eyes might linger on you for just a moment longer than what's considered casual. And in that brief pause, something is communicated. You see, women are masters of subtlety when it comes to expressing desire, and their bodies often reveal what their lips will not say. A light touch on your arm while she laughs at your joke isn't always accidental. It can be an intentional move to test the waters. She might lean in closer when you speak, closing the distance between you as though she wants to be inside your space. Even the tilt of her head when she listens is part of that unspoken language. Her smile may hold a softness that's reserved just for you, one that feels a little warmer, a little more private. And the interesting thing is, most men miss these cues entirely because they're looking for the obvious instead of the subtle. When she's interested on that deeper, intimate level, you'll notice she's tuned into you with a level of focus that feels different from casual conversation. Her eyes may dart to your lips while you're speaking just for a split second before returning to your gaze. That's not an accident. It's an unconscious sign of thinking about closeness, about what it would feel like to break that space. Her posture can also speak volumes. If she's facing you directly, shoulders square to yours, or mirroring your movements, she's creating alignment between you without even realizing it. This is her way of saying, "I'm here and I'm with you," without uttering a word. And when she leans in to whisper something in your ear, feeling her breath against your skin, it's not just about sharing words. It's about creating a moment of intimacy that only the two of you share. Body language can sometimes feel like a game of chess, with every move holding meaning. If she consistently removes physical barriers between you, like moving her purse, folding her arms less, or turning her body toward you, she's signaling openness. Proximity is another major clue. People naturally keep a certain amount of personal space, but when she willingly shortens that distance, especially in public, it shows a comfort and trust that goes beyond friendship. Pay attention to her feet as well. If they're pointed toward you, it often means her attention and energy are fully directed your way. The little shifts in her posture, the way she leans just slightly closer when you're talking, or even the gentle sway of her body toward yours during conversation. These are silent invitations. They may be small, but together they create a powerful message. Sometimes attraction shows itself in the way she listens. A woman who's drawn to you will listen with her whole body, not just her ears. Her eyes will stay locked on yours, her expressions will mirror your emotions, and she might even lean her chin into her hand in a way that frames her face for you to notice. These are subtle acts of presentation, almost instinctual ways of highlighting her femininity in your presence. When she laughs, she might lightly touch her neck or collarbone, a vulnerable area that, when exposed, subconsciously signals attraction. She might absent-mindedly play with her hair, twirling or smoothing it, as if to draw your attention there. The energy between you becomes less about words and more about the dance of silent signals, where every gesture carries an undertone you can feel if you're paying attention. There's also something to be said about lingering presence. A woman who wants to connect on a physical level may find reasons to stay in your space just a little longer than necessary. She might not be in a rush to end the conversation, even if her friends are calling her over or she has somewhere else to be. Her pacing slows when she's with you, her movements more deliberate, as if she's savoring the interaction. If she finds herself brushing against you repeatedly, whether reaching for something, walking past you, or shifting in her seat, this is rarely coincidence. She's allowing her body to communicate her comfort, interest, and curiosity. And this is where you must learn to trust the signs, not because they are guarantees, but because they are invitations to explore a deeper connection. You may also notice that when she's physically close, her energy changes. Her voice may soften, her tone becoming more intimate, as if she's speaking to you and only you, even in a crowded room. Her eyes may widen slightly, her pupils dilating in response to the moment. These are subtle biological reactions that often happen without conscious thought. When she's laughing at your jokes, even the ones you know aren't your best, it's a way of validating your presence and showing she's tuned into you. She might tilt her head slightly when you speak, exposing her neck in a gesture that subconsciously signals trust and vulnerability. Her breathing may even slow or deepen when you're near, small physiological cues that betray the emotional impact you have on her. Eye contact is perhaps the most telling signal of all. If she holds your gaze a second longer than normal, especially after you've finished speaking, it's a powerful indicator of interest. There's a difference between polite eye contact and the kind that makes you feel as though she's looking straight into you. Sometimes she'll glance away quickly when you catch her looking, as if she's been caught in a thought she doesn't want to reveal just yet. And other times, she'll hold that gaze intentionally, letting the air between you thicken just enough to make you wonder what she's thinking. In those moments, words become irrelevant. What matters is the energy you can feel, charged, curious, and unspoken. It's important to understand that while men often rely on verbal cues, women are more likely to test interest through these nonverbal hints first. The key is not to overanalyze every single gesture, but to look for patterns. One touch could be friendly, consistent. Lingering touches paired with open body language mean something more. One compliment could be polite. Repeated, intimate compliments paired with a warm smile begin to paint a different picture. If you can tune yourself to notice the way her body moves in your presence, you'll start to hear the silent conversation she's having with you. It's a language that requires patience and awareness to understand, but once you do, you'll realize it's been speaking to you all along. And perhaps the most beautiful part of this silent exchange is that it's not forced. A woman doesn't have to tell you she's drawn to you because her energy already does. The way she positions herself, the way she breaks the invisible bubble of personal space, the way her laughter comes easier in your presence, all of these things are like threads weaving an unspoken story between you. The more you learn to observe without jumping to conclusions, the more clearly you'll see it. This is the art of connection, the dance of subtle signals where desire is hinted at rather than declared, and where the most meaningful messages are often the ones never spoken aloud. If you want, I can now do the same 900-word deep dive for Keynote 2 so it flows like a continuous Jessica Opare speech. That way it will sound seamless in your final motivational talk. Here's Keynote 2 expanded into 900 words in Jessica Opere's warm, confident, slightly playful but sophisticated style, with each paragraph exactly 10 lines and no ending conclusion. When a woman is interested in you beyond surface-level conversation, she will often find creative ways to create space where it's just the two of you. This is not always about the obvious, like asking you out directly. It's about engineering moments where intimacy can naturally unfold. She might suggest grabbing a coffee after an event, even if everyone else is going home. She might invite you over under the guise of watching a movie or helping her with something. But what she's really doing is giving both of you the privacy to connect. In these situations, it's not the activity itself that matters. It's the setting. Alone time creates an environment where glances last longer, conversations go deeper, and body language becomes more open. She knows that in a group, you can only reveal so much, but in private, the energy can shift into something more personal. It's about testing the waters in a space where no one else's eyes are watching. You'll notice that her suggestions for meeting up aren't always tied to necessity. Maybe she asks you to accompany her somewhere, even though she could easily go alone. Or she invites you over to hang out at times that feel intentionally late in the evening. This isn't coincidence. It's about creating opportunities where barriers naturally lower. Privacy allows for vulnerability, and vulnerability is a gateway to intimacy. Think about it. The things we say and do when we're one-on-one are rarely the same as when we're surrounded by others. If she keeps finding ways to position herself in that exclusive space with you, she's opening the door for a deeper, potentially physical connection. These moments might feel casual on the surface, but they are rarely without thought. Sometimes it's not just about the invitation. It's about how she behaves once you're in that private space. Her body language may relax more. She might sit closer than she would in public, and her voice may soften into a warmer tone. In these moments, she is curating an atmosphere where closeness feels natural, not forced. She may dim the lights, play softer music, or choose a spot where you're physically nearer, like a couch instead of separate chairs. Every detail is a part of this silent orchestration. Women are often deliberate about setting because the right environment can nurture the kind of connection she's hoping to build. She knows that privacy gives room for energy to grow without outside interruptions. Another sign is how flexible she becomes with her time when it comes to you. If she rearranges her schedule or extends your meet-ups beyond what was originally planned, it's a sign that being with you feels rewarding enough to delay everything else. She might say, "I should get going soon," but then an hour later, she's still there, laughing and engaging with you. This kind of time investment is significant. It's not just about enjoying your company, but about prioritizing the connection you're building. When a woman is willing to linger, she's giving herself space to explore what the moment could turn into. That willingness to stretch the time together is her way of saying, "I'm not ready for this to end just yet." Late-night conversations are another powerful indicator. If she chooses to text or call you late in the evening, or responds quickly when you reach out at those hours, it often means she's open to a deeper emotional and physical connection. Nighttime carries a different kind of intimacy. It's when guards are down and conversations naturally shift into more personal territory. If she invites you over late, she's aware of the unspoken implications. That's not to say it's always about intimacy, but the timing can often reveal her comfort with allowing things to progress. Women tend to be protective of their personal space during those hours, so if you're being welcomed in, it's meaningful. You may also notice that when she creates these private opportunities, she subtly reduces distractions. She may put her phone away, close her laptop, or turn off the TV during your time together. This is her way of giving you undivided attention and signaling that the focus is on you. It's easy to miss how important this is. Most people are easily distracted these days, so choosing to be fully present is a form of intentional intimacy. It says, "You matter enough for me to be here fully," which is the kind of energy that paves the way for deeper attraction. She's telling you through action that the connection matters. Some women will even use shared activities as an excuse for private time. Cooking together, working on a project, or taking a walk somewhere quiet might seem like harmless suggestions, but in reality, they're deliberate choices. These activities give her a reason to be close, to share moments of casual touch, and to build familiarity in a safe and comfortable way. Shared experiences also create inside jokes and memories, which deepen your bond without forcing anything unnatural. When she repeatedly seeks out these moments with you, she's building a foundation for something more, and she's aware of it even if she doesn't say it out loud. What's important to note is that these private moments are often paired with other signs of attraction. If she's leaning in more, touching you lightly, or holding your gaze during these times, it's a layering of signals. Alone time isn't just about the absence of others. It's about what she does with that space. She's giving you the setting and then showing you through her energy how she feels. For many women, this gradual progression is the safest way to express desire without risking rejection or misunderstanding. By controlling the environment, she creates space for subtle escalations. Even in public, you might notice she tries to carve out mini moments that feel private. It could be standing close to you during a group conversation or pulling you aside to talk in a quieter spot. These micro moments are practice for the kind of energy she enjoys when it's just the two of you. If she enjoys your company in small, stolen moments, it's natural for her to want larger, uninterrupted stretches of time. And the more she engineers those moments, the clearer her intentions become. It's not always about making a move. It's about creating conditions where a move feels natural. Privacy amplifies everything. Eye contact feels more electric, laughter feels warmer, and silences feel more comfortable. When a woman consistently seeks out situations where it's just you and her, she's giving the connection room to breathe and grow. She's making it easier for both of you to explore chemistry without the noise of the outside world. And when she chooses those moments over other obligations or people, it's not by accident. It's a choice that speaks volumes if you know how to listen. If you'd like, I can now expand Keynote 3 in the exact same style so your speech maintains a smooth, consistent flow. Here's Keynote 3 expanded into 900 words in Jessica Opare's warm, confident, and slightly playful style, with each paragraph exactly 10 lines and no ending conclusion. Compliments are powerful when they're genuine, but they take on a completely different meaning when they're laced with intimacy. A woman who is secretly drawn to you will move beyond the generic, "You look nice," and start complimenting the things most people don't notice. She might tell you that she loves the way your cologne lingers in the air after you leave. She may comment on your voice, how it sounds soothing or masculine in a way she can't ignore. These are not small talk. They're subtle acknowledgments of the qualities that attract her on a deeper level. It's her way of making you aware that she's paying attention to you in a personal way. She notices details that aren't obvious, like the way your shirt fits or how your smile changes when you're being genuine. This is her telling you, without saying it directly, that she's seeing you in a more intimate light. When she gives you these deeper compliments, you'll notice they often come with a certain tone. Her voice might soften, her eyes may lock on yours a moment longer, or she might smile in a way that feels almost private. The energy behind the words matters just as much as the words themselves. A playful, "You smell too good, it's distracting," isn't just about fragrance. It's about planting an image, making you wonder what she's thinking. Compliments like this are rarely given to someone she sees purely platonically. They carry an undertone of curiosity and desire. And the more she sprinkles them into conversation, the more she's hinting at an attraction she's not saying outright. Sometimes she'll pair her compliments with a physical gesture. She might brush her hand lightly over your sleeve when saying she likes your shirt, or lean closer when telling you your voice is dangerous. These actions create a sensory link. You don't just hear the compliment, you feel it. That combination of verbal and physical signals makes the message far more potent. It's a subtle yet deliberate way to deepen the connection without making a bold move. Women often choose this approach because it allows them to express interest without feeling overexposed. The body and the words work together, creating an unspoken language between you. Her compliments might also reveal that she's paying attention to your moods, your habits, or the way you carry yourself. She might say something like, "I like how calm you are in stressful situations," or "I love the way you think." These are intimate observations that show she's watching you closely. When she notices your little quirks or appreciates qualities about your character, she's connecting beyond surface attraction. But when those compliments start leaning toward your physical presence, your hands, your scent, your style, that's when you know the attraction is turning more physical. She's letting her words graze into personal territory. Another thing to look for is how specific she is. A woman who compliments you in a way that could apply to anyone is likely just being polite. But when she singles out something only you have, like a particular scar, the way your laugh sounds, or the way you walk, she's making it personal. This kind of detail means she's not only noticing you, but she's storing those details in her memory. Compliments like, "That color looks incredible on you," or "You have the nicest shoulders," don't just fall out of her mouth. They're intentional and they're meant to make you aware of how she's perceiving you. She may also use humor or playfulness to disguise the depth of her compliments. A teasing, "You're trouble," or "I don't trust you with that smile," can be a flirty way of expressing attraction without openly declaring it. These playful jabs are designed to test your reaction, to see if you catch the undercurrent of flirtation. The beauty of this style is that it leaves room for interpretation, allowing the conversation to remain light while still carrying a heavier meaning. If you respond with the right balance of confidence and warmth, you'll often notice her compliments become bolder over time. In many cases, these intimate compliments will happen in moments when it's just the two of you. In a group, she might keep things neutral, but when you're alone, her words take on a more personal edge. She might lean in to say something quietly, as if it's a secret between you. That intentional privacy adds weight to the compliment, making it feel more special and more intimate. It's her way of building a space where you feel seen by her in a way no one else does. This dynamic builds both trust and attraction. Pay attention to how she reacts after giving the compliment. If she holds your gaze, smiles knowingly, or waits for your reaction, she's not just being nice, she's gauging your response. She wants to see if you catch the hint, if you feel the energy she's putting out. Women rarely give repeated, personal compliments to men they're not interested in. The consistency and depth of those compliments are signals that her mind is wandering to places she may not be voicing yet. Sometimes she might reference past compliments she's given you, reinforcing the attraction subtly. She could say, "Remember when I told you that you have a great voice?" "Yeah, I still think about that." This kind of callback isn't random. It's a way to remind you of the earlier connection and keep that spark alive in your memory. It's like she's leaving a trail for you to follow, one that leads toward a more intimate understanding between you. The real key is to see her compliments not as isolated moments, but as part of a pattern. One compliment might be polite, but several over time, especially those that lean into personal, sensory, or physical territory, tell a different story. They're breadcrumbs leading to her true feelings, a carefully crafted way of letting you know she's interested without having to say it outright. If you can read between the lines and respond in a way that matches her energy, those compliments can evolve into something far more telling than words alone could ever express. If you want, I can now move on to expand Keynote 4 in the same 900-word Jessica Opare style so your speech keeps a seamless rhythm from start to finish. Here's Keynote 4 expanded into 900 words in Jessica Opare's confident, warm, slightly playful style, with each paragraph exactly 10 lines and no ending conclusion. Playful teasing is one of the most underestimated tools in a woman's attraction toolbox. When she likes you, she might use humor as a safe space to test your chemistry and see how you respond. These aren't random jokes. They're little nudges meant to create a spark between you. She might mimic the way you say something or laugh at a habit of yours, not to embarrass you, but to establish a kind of shared intimacy. A teasing, "Oh, so you think you're charming?" or "You're trouble, I can tell," isn't about criticism. It's about intrigue. She's building a rhythm between you that feels lighthearted but carries a subtle undercurrent of attraction. Teasing creates tension, but it's the kind of tension that makes both people lean in rather than pull away. And when done in that slightly suggestive way, it's a clear signal she's comfortable enough to flirt. You'll notice that the teasing often focuses on traits she finds attractive. If she playfully points out that you're always confident or that you know exactly what you're doing, she's indirectly acknowledging the qualities she admires. The beauty of this is that the compliment is wrapped in humor, which makes it feel casual while still planting the seed of attraction. It's like she's inviting you into a private game that no one else is playing. Teasing also gives her a chance to break the usual conversational script and move into a space where you can exchange energy, not just information. When she singles you out in a playful way, especially in a group, she's creating a moment that's just between the two of you, even if others are around. Physical teasing is another layer that can reveal her interest. She might give you a light shove when you say something cheeky, or pretend to fix your collar in an exaggerated way, laughing as she does it. These touches are deliberately non-serious, but they break the physical barrier in a way that feels natural. Women often use this approach to see if you're comfortable with a bit of closeness. If you respond positively, matching her energy or returning the playfulness, it gives her a green light to take things a little further. This gradual escalation is part of the dance of attraction, where each step feels organic rather than forced. She's not just teasing for the sake of it, she's testing the waters. The tone of her voice during these playful exchanges can tell you just as much as the words themselves. It might drop into a more teasing, almost conspiratorial rhythm, as if you're sharing an inside joke. She might elongate certain words, use a mock serious tone, or lean in closer when delivering her playful comment. This kind of vocal play adds a sensory dimension to the moment, making it more memorable. A simple phrase becomes charged when paired with a look, a tone, or a slight smile that lingers. Women who use teasing in this way are often deliberately weaving humor and attraction together, because together they create an irresistible mix. Another sign to watch for is how quickly she shifts between teasing and genuine warmth. She might laugh at you one moment and then compliment you the next, as if to balance the playfulness with sincerity. This back and forth keeps the energy dynamic, never letting things fall into predictable territory. It's a rhythm that keeps you engaged, wondering what she'll say next. And that unpredictability is part of the charm. It keeps the conversation alive and the attraction simmering. She's showing you that she can be fun, but she can also be genuine, and that combination is magnetic. Teasing often serves as a low-risk way for her to inject a bit of sexual tension without making things uncomfortable. A light remark like, "You're dangerous, I can tell," or "I'd have to keep an eye on you," hints at desire without crossing into explicit territory. It's suggestive enough to make you think, yet subtle enough to be brushed off if needed. This gives her control over the pace of the interaction, allowing her to read your reactions and decide whether to move forward. If you pick up on the hint and reciprocate in a similar tone, it becomes a shared game where both of you know what's happening, even if it's never said directly. Sometimes, teasing will be paired with exaggerated reactions, especially when she's pretending to be shocked or amused by something you've said. She might gasp dramatically, cover her mouth, or widen her eyes in a playful overreaction. These theatrical gestures are designed to draw your attention and make the exchange more engaging. It's performance, but it's performance for you specifically. In that moment, the rest of the room disappears, and the connection between you becomes the center of her focus. She's inviting you to step into that playful bubble with her. Her teasing might also involve little challenges, daring you to prove something, or jokingly questioning whether you can live up to your own words. "Oh, really? I'll believe it when I see it," she might say with a raised eyebrow and a smirk. Challenges like these aren't confrontational, they're invitations. They create opportunities for playful banter, and banter builds familiarity quickly. By setting up these micro-challenges, she's giving you space to flirt back, to build that tension in a way that feels mutual and lighthearted. In group settings, her teasing can be even more telling. If she directs her playful remarks toward you more than anyone else, it's a sign you've caught her attention in a way others haven't. She might throw you a cheeky comment across the room or respond to something you've said with a knowing smile that no one else quite understands. It's these little moments of exclusivity that strengthen the bond. Even surrounded by people, she's finding ways to make the interaction feel like it's just between the two of you. That's not random, that's intentional. At its core, playful teasing is about creating a shared emotional space that feels safe, fun, and just a little bit charged. It's about testing boundaries without crossing them, and letting attraction breathe without forcing it into the open. When she uses teasing in a suggestive way, especially if it's paired with physical closeness, lingering eye contact, or personal compliments, she's doing far more than joking around. She's weaving together humor, curiosity, and desire into a language that's felt more than spoken. And if you learn to hear that language, you'll never miss what she's really saying beneath the smile. If you'd like, I can now move on to expand Keynote 5, so your full 6 signs. Jessica Opare style speech is complete and ready to flow as one long polished piece. Here's Keynote 5 expanded into 900 words in Jessica Opare's confident, warm, slightly playful style, with each paragraph exactly 10 lines and no ending conclusion. Touch is one of the most instinctive ways we communicate interest, and when a woman is secretly drawn to you, she'll find subtle ways to break that physical barrier. This isn't always about obvious gestures. It can be as small as brushing past you when there's plenty of space to walk. It might be a light touch on your arm during a laugh, a gentle nudge when she's making a point, or a quick adjustment to your shirt collar. These gestures are deliberate, even if they seem casual. Physical contact creates a bridge between two people, and when she crosses it often, it's a sign she feels comfortable in your personal space. Women don't allow repeated closeness unless they feel drawn to someone. That small touch might be her way of seeing how you respond, reading your energy, and deciding whether to take things further. The frequency of these touches is just as important as the touches themselves. If it happens once, it could be friendly. But if she keeps finding reasons to make contact, it's a pattern. She might lightly rest her hand on your back as you walk through a doorway, or let her fingers linger when she passes you something. These aren't random. They're calculated moments of connection meant to create a spark without being overt. Over time, this builds a level of familiarity that makes deeper intimacy feel natural. And the more she does it, the more she's telling you, without words, that she enjoys the closeness and doesn't mind the possibility of it becoming more. You might also notice she doesn't flinch or move away when your bodies are close. In fact, she may lean into that closeness. If you're sitting side by side, her knee might brush yours and stay there, or she might angle her body toward you so your shoulders almost touch. This is an unspoken form of comfort and connection, one that suggests she feels safe in your space. Women are instinctively protective of their physical boundaries, so when she consistently allows you in, it's a powerful signal. It's her way of letting you know that proximity isn't just tolerated, it's welcomed. Sometimes touch will be paired with other signs of attraction, making it even more telling. A light hand on your arm might come with a warm smile or lingering eye contact. She might adjust your tie or straighten your jacket while looking directly at you, blending a practical excuse with an intimate gesture. These combinations are intentional. They allow her to create a multi-layered experience that engages both your senses and your emotions. She's not just making contact, she's making it meaningful. Playful touches are another way she might test the waters. She could give you a gentle shove while laughing at your joke, or tap you on the shoulder to get your attention in a teasing way. This type of touch blends fun with physical closeness, making it easier to establish contact without it feeling too heavy. It's low risk for her, but high impact in terms of connection. Playful touching is often used to gauge how comfortable you are with physical interaction. If you respond positively, matching her energy and perhaps returning the touch, she knows you're on the same wavelength. Even in public, she may find discreet ways to make contact. A quick brush of her hand against yours while walking side by side, a touch on your knee under the table, or leaning in so her shoulder rests lightly against yours. These are small but deliberate. In social settings, this kind of touch can be even more intimate because it's shared only between you, hidden in plain sight. It becomes a secret language of its own, a private interaction no one else is aware of. In moments when you're helping her, perhaps reaching for something or showing her how to do something, she may prolong the contact more than necessary. If your hands touch, she might not pull away immediately. If you place your hand on her back to guide her, she might lean into it slightly instead of stepping forward. These micro reactions are incredibly telling. They show not just tolerance for your touch, but a subtle enjoyment of it. This isn't accidental. It's her way of allowing the connection to deepen. Touch can also be a way for her to create a safe, physical bond before taking things to a more openly romantic level. By starting with small, casual gestures, she can build trust and comfort while also testing your response. If you respond with warmth and openness, she may gradually become more comfortable initiating longer or more frequent contact. This progression allows her to explore the possibility of intimacy without feeling like she's making a bold or risky move. It's a dance, one where each step forward feels natural. It's worth noting that not all touches are created equal. A pat on the shoulder is friendly, a slow hand on your forearm that lingers just a second longer than necessary is intimate. She knows this difference instinctively, and she uses it to her advantage. By choosing where and how to touch you, she communicates the kind of connection she's interested in building. A touch on your face, your chest, or your thigh, for example, sends a far stronger signal than one on your upper back. Context matters, and she's aware of it. Ultimately, when a woman repeatedly breaks the touch barrier in ways that feel warm, intentional, and just a little personal, it's rarely by accident. It's an unspoken invitation, a way of saying she's comfortable with you and curious about more. Her hands are speaking a language her words may not be ready to say outright, and if you're paying attention, you'll hear it clearly. Those seemingly small gestures are often the truest expression of her desire, woven into everyday moments so they feel effortless and natural.